Okay. All right, say your name.
My name is Mr. Cook.
Mr. Cook. Okay, my name is Cam Finney. I'm interviewing Mr. Cook today. I'm gonna start off with the first question. What was your favorite childhood memory?
My favorite childhood memory was scoring the game-winning point my freshman year, my ninth grade basketball game. We were down two, and I hit a half-court shot to win the game.
Okay. And what did that moment feel like when you hit the half court shot?
It gave me a lot of confidence because it was like the third game of the season, and I think we were 1-2 at the time. But it gave me a lot of confidence in continuing to play basketball.
Okay. What's the biggest challenge you've ever overcome in your career?
Finishing school. I had a son at the age of 18, and so being able to be a parent and go to school at the same time was pretty tough.
Uh, what's the biggest challenge your industry is facing right now?
But when you say industry, you mean my job?
Yeah, your job.
I think the biggest challenge right now is keeping people employed. Some of our positions don't pay a whole lot, and so we get staff that come in and they end up leaving for different jobs because they're not making enough money, in this position here, and so we lose a lot of people. So that's a struggle for us right now.
Okay. What's a common myth about your industry that you like to debunk?
That we only deal with behavior. We are good people. We are here for kids. We like to do anything that we can for kids, and it doesn't always have to be surrounded around behavior. Usually when we go and check in with kids, they always think they're in trouble. And sometimes it's, having a positive conversation with one of our students.
Okay. Most helpful resources that helps you with your career?
Of course, taking additional college classes, around educational leadership, but also just connecting with our assistant principals and counselors. They have a different insight than we do, and so it kind of helps us in our position, knowing what they do in their positions.
What sparked interest in your field?
Being a behavior kid myself, I love to tell these stories. I can say all the way up to probably ninth grade. Me and my behavior staff in the schools that I went to were good friends. And so, I think just working with kids, coaching, being able to, put confidence in kids, just the overall aspect of being around kids is what sparked me into working with kids. I've had different opportunities where I've made more money and, been sitting behind a desk, but, I've always came back to, working in education and working with kids.
Okay. If there's one thing students should know about you, what would it be?
That I am one of the friendliest people in the world. Again, students look at us and they think that it's always behavior, but we do go above and beyond outside of behavior to make sure that students are, successful in school.
Best advice you ever received?
You put out what you put in. You get a lot of, when it comes to athletics, when it comes to your job, the way you show up. So, anything, if you want something, you're going to put in the effort, and you're going to get results. If you don't put in the effort, then you're going to get bad results. So,
when you say bad results, how does that affect you?
It depends. So like my job, I could come in here late every day. I could sit in my office all day and stuff in the hallways and, stuff that we got to do with teachers will pile up. With coaching, I could show up to practice with no game plan. I could show up to games with no energy and no effort. And we could lose pretty much all of our games. And so, we put in the time and the effort to make sure that we're prepared, to make sure we're ready to work. When it comes to coaching, make sure our students our kids are prepared. And so when they go out and play, you can see the difference between just kids going out there and play and kids being coached.
If there is a saying that you go by or a quote that you go by, what is it?
You know what? It's the one that I've always been told. You put in
What you put out?
what you put. You get. You got to put in the work to get results, basically. So, I'm all for preparation. I'm all for being places on time, being punctual, and it's just something that I've learned over the time working in education, and then being able to be mentored by some of my peers. So all of that time and effort that I put learning these positions and growing in my career, those are some of the things that well, that's the one quote that stuck with me. So
Okay. I think that's it. Thank you.
yeah, no
Thank you.
problem. Thank you.
Yeah.